G'day everybody. I've had a few people contact me and send me photos of albums and went, oh look, my grandfather left me this and it's worth a fortune. What do you think, Jeff? I'm going to show you an album now which I think it'd be worth nothing. And the stamps in it, and one of our subscribers said this, is from the 70s, these stamps, and they're all, you can call them stickers. So 70s and 80s. And they're very much sticker type stamps. They're produced by post offices to make money for their countries. So we're going to go quickly through this book and we're going to show you what I think is a stamp album. Yeah, it looks pretty, but it's not worth anything really. And you give me your 2 cents worth and let me know. All right. And if you're new to the channel and you're trying to value your inheritance from your grandfather, and you look at these stamps and you go, oh, he's got all these, apologies, but you're not going to find $1 million stamp in there. All right, hang on, we'll have a look. All right. All right, first hint that this album's not worth anything. It's in a Chinese album. It's got fake stamps on the outside of it. You see these albums all the time. Unfortunately, the paper is very acidic and it destroys the stamps. We'll have a look at these ones. Now, the first hints that these stamps are probably not as worth as much is they're usually large. They're very large stamps. Look at them. Very, very big. I mean, you can't even get these onto envelopes. And if you could, I'll get an envelope, right? One envelope coming up. Rightio, so you got an envelope and you're going to stick a stamp on like that. I mean, it's just huge. It just looks ridiculous. But look, and you can tell the paper is very flimsy. You see right through it. It's thin. So, they're out to make money. It's, I'm not trying to pick on the people. Back in the day, there was a lot of stamp collectors who were collecting and they were screaming for new issues. So much so that post offices bent over and just started issuing anything as fast as they could. And it took off. People were buying them all around the world. All these different stamp companies would be buying so much of this stuff and they'd cancel them to order so they'd get it at a discounted rate. They wouldn't have to pay the full price. And these companies would sell them all around the world for these post offices. And really, they're just not worth the paper they're printed on, unfortunately. So, if you've got all these, you've been inherited all these type of stamps and you're looking at these, they're not worth it. Now, saying that, there are people that like large stamps, who like the pictures, who like collecting them. I mean, look at these ones. They're out of focus. They have to have done that on purpose. That's not my camera. They're actually out of focus, those pictures of statues. How quick were they? Running through going, oh, we'll use those, send them. But I mean, yeah. You can just hear it in the paper as well. It's just a shame, really. And these little ones. Now, I've ripped that because I'm never going to use this book again. These are just, honestly, I just feel like throwing them in the bin. They're not real stamps. It's just horrible. I mean, it just makes me sad. There's not even any work being put into these whatsoever. And kids drawing them. They're terrible. The perforations are all over the place. I just would not bother collecting these. Now, I don't want to offend anyone who does collect them because, you collect what you love. And if you love these, I apologise profusely. But to me, they're just not real stamps. But that's me, all right? Even this thing, like this. Oh, wow, look at that. But you hear it, it's not even real paper. The paper is just thin and horrible. And the perforations, they don't feel real. The paper's so thin. How about these ones? Same. Tanzania, be another. At least they've used thicker paper, So Yeah, it's just a shame. It's just a shame. I think that is probably one of the reasons why, stamps just went out of favour. There's countries doing this. Again, look at that. They're just not, I mean, they're better, they're thicker. Oh, I can't pick on space stamps. But again, you can't hear that, but and I've seen this a fair few times. But again, at least Russia has used thicker paper, which, you just need to be able to do something. But a lot of people did collect these back in the day, thinking, oh, I'm onto something new. It's from a different country, cancel to order, perfect, and strips. And a lot of these in these old collections now, they come up in auction. And really, the dealers are just throwing them, in box lots going, these are not worth anything. I can't sell them. And honestly, if I put these on eBay, they would sit on eBay forever, unless they were $1 for the entire book. Now, I haven't proven that, but I'd hazard a guess that would be it. Look at this. Take photos of something really interesting and put them on a large stamp. And they are so thin. Yeah. So sorry if you're watching this for the first time and your grandparent, your grandparents have left you an inheritance of beautiful stamps that you think are worth a fortune. If they're anything like this, that's thicker. See, I'll give it to Russia. They'd use thicker paper. Look at that. Too scared to put anything on these ones. Oh, there you go. Naked pictures of stamps. I loved these when I was a kid. I was like, oh, I got naughty stamps. Now I just see them like these are just paper thin. Paper thin. This is just a money-making exercise. It's just a shame. I think it was the low point of the stamp collecting times. I think it's why I really love old stamps, because that's when, they really did a great job. Like, you can really see when the artists got in there and made some really good stamps. Yeah, they make really good stamps now. They've gone away from this type of stamp making and gone into nicer looking stamps, but they're never as nice as the old stamps. Everything before the 1950s. Oh my gosh. Well, tell me, comment. What's your favourite era of stamps? Do you like the latest stuff or the newer stuff? That's a bit thicker. Look at this, paintings. Yemen did a lot of these stamps. It's just a shame. Just a shame. But I'll share them with everybody. I won't be doing a draw today. I'm just trying to get some of my draws out of the way. Oh my God, these feel fake. You can even hear them. It's terrible. The only good thing about going through this collection is I can throw the album out, make a bit of room. Wife said there's no more stamps to be bought into this house until I get rid of all the rest of them. So I got to work my way through. Though there is 10 lots coming up on Monday. And I'm really going to look at them. I'd like to get another one of those $140 boxes if I can find them. Well, these are like movies. So a different country, you've got pictures of movies from America, I suppose. Oh, they are so fake. I don't know where that is. Fijiria? I don't even know what country that is. Maybe someone smart out there can help me. Oh my God. Used the Catholic religion to sell stamps. Put them nice and big. Cancel to order. I wonder if these have ever been used on envelopes. So I know a lot of this stuff just came cancelled order and got issued out. So I wonder if any of them are really being used as stamps. Someone must know. Now, At least Russia spent a bit of time and put some interesting stuff on there. Look at these. Bit thicker and nicer. They're quite nice. Nice warships. They're cool. Rwanda. Here we go, some more Rwanda. These are all mint. It'd be great if you could use other countries' stamps for postage. It's great. I like those Russian ones. They're probably my favourite, those. Out of the whole book, I reckon these two are my favourite. They are pretty spectacular. And I love the star, CCP star. Very cool. I've got to be careful what I say about stamps. Some people might be like, oh, I like them ones more. What, don't pick on those, Jeff. Rwanda. Oh, these are all mint. Wow. They're quite nice, actually. Sets. Rwanda. Wow, very nice. I'm going to keep that for Shani. It's got a bird on it. Throw these over my back. I'm still putting an envelope together for Shani, trying to get some bird stamps together for her. As a 1,000 subscriber, congratulations. It's a big thing hitting 1,000 subscribers. There's some people get it really quickly and then some people really got to work for it. I suppose it's really hard because there's less of us collecting stamps these days, so it's not as popular as playing YouTube and talking about the games you're playing. I mean, playing games. Like there's some YouTube stations that just play games and talk about how they're playing. I'm not doing good. And they got thousands of subscribers. Oh, Abraham Lincoln. Why would Rwanda do that? Just to sell stamps? There we go. Popes, all different popes from the Vatican. You know, a lot of these stamps are not really worth that much. And the prices you see in the catalogues are probably just a handling fee. I think it'd be impossible to find some of these. Like, I just don't think dealers would hold a lot of this stuff. Wow. They're nice, pretty. At least they're a little bit thicker. They feel a bit more like stamps. That one doesn't. Triangle stamp. Drive me crazy, those things, trying to fit them in my book. All flowers, quite nice. See, I like local flowers. I mean, that makes sense. They're good. They're great. You know, like local, you know, when you make stamps of the local stuff around your country, I mean, that's a great idea. It's just these type of ones, like, why do these? They just don't do anything for me. But I know there's a couple of subscribers that love paintings, and I don't knock that. I think that's great. If you love paintings on stamps, good on you. At least you know what you like. Like these ones here. Why would Rwanda put all this subject material? It's Napoleon, which is cool. Subject material, I like Napoleon. I have to, what is the book? I read a series of books from Napoleon. So when I first joined Defence, not first time, second time, when I become an officer, they ask you, you have to find a leader and study him and, do a write-up of him, why you loved him. And I read up about Napoleon, but everything I'd ever read was from the English version side, and he was a tyrant, and he was this, and he was that. But I read a French book, a French series of books, about 3 or 4 books, where it had all these letters from his girlfriend at the time and everything. And it was just amazing. He was an amazing man. Without him, universities became a real thing. With Napoleon, mathematics was really looked highly upon. But medals, back in the day, only officers got medals. But he was the one that come around and he gave them to his troops. He was amazing. He only lost that war with Wellington because he had untrained, inexperienced troops. No, I think he was a formidable leader. He just treated his people really well. I think he came from nothing and made a big thing out of treating everybody really well. But they always say history is written by the winner and portrayed how they want. I think I read another book too. It's about Vietnam. Ooh, I'll keep that for Shani. She'll like that. I read this book about Vietnam War, and it was from the North Korean side about a doctor who worked in all the tunnels. And you'd have to, by the end of it, you're like, well, no, you had a point why you did it all. It's like you listen to the American and Australian side and you only see one version, this is what happened. But you see it from their point of view and you think, well, if people broke into my country and started trying to take it over, I'd fight too. I think the biggest thing you learn is you can have an open mind. Again, a lot of these are just, a lot of Rwanda stamps, but I just don't think they're worth that much, if anything at all. The gorillas, they're good. Just don't know about the paintings. Nearly done. They're all mint too. Like, I tell you, if I went to Rwanda, I'd have a lot of stamps to post everyone's stuff. Could you imagine grabbing all the mint stamps from all these things and started using them for, going over there, send them back to Rwanda and saying, yeah, use them as postage. The whole post office system be like, oh my gosh. That's why I really love using old stamps for postage in Australia. Oh, I've already got that one there for Shani. But yeah, I love getting all the old stamps that are mint and using them for postage. Because I think, bugger you, Australian Post Office, selling all these to people. These are horrible. I mean, beautiful butterflies, horrible paper. Just didn't feel like real stamps at all. Them, definitely. Look at the perforations. Perforations on these are just atrocious. Look at them. Just a shitty paper they've used. That should be in the bin. They're horrible. But yeah, like the Australian postage stamps, love using them. They must sit there going, oh my God, we're going to put postage up. Everyone's using these bloody stamps. Royalty. Oh, everyone jumped on the royalty bandwagon for stamps. Wow. Oh, birds. We'll keep all these for Shani. She will like these. Very nice pictures of birds. There we go. How do these fit onto envelopes? even just one is going to take up so much room. Look at this. All right, we'll just put that down the side of the envelope. I'd like to see one of these stamps on an envelope. Someone put up a picture of a stamp with that is on an envelope. Because I don't think there would be. Look at these. I think you might be watching this video and I might be overseas. No, not overseas. Oh, Tasmania's not overseas. A little bit of sea. Beautiful. I mean, they're pretty looking stamps. Some of these are pretty, but like, they just feel fake. What do I call this video? Sticker stamps? Fake stamps? Stamps not worth anything? Oh, there you go, ice hockey. My boy loved that one. I hate hating on stamps. But like these, like, they just don't feel like stamps. They're pretty, but they're just... I think if all stamps were like this, I just don't think I could collect them. Like this one here, like, why? Why? What are we doing, people? Like, they're just so thin. I'm not trying to get angry. Look at these things. The perforations are just, you know, old stamps, you really look at the perforations, you measure the perforations. Perforations, you know, you got a low little, any perf is down, the stamp's worth less, but these, the perforations are just all over the place. Because the paper's so thin, they don't even rip properly. Yeah. That's it. That was disheartening. So basically, oops, I'm going to just move you around. Basically, that's what happens when you collect all the 70 stamps. They're like stickers, not really worth much at all, unfortunately. It's very sad, but them's the breaks. So if you've inherited an album like that, best thing you can do is find a local stamp show or collector or a kid and hand them the album and say, congratulations, get into stamp collecting. But, you know, do you want to give them that, or do you want to give them some real stamps? You know, some nice old stamps or some of the newer stuff with nicer designs. Yeah. It's just a shame that those years went through, but I think we did it to ourselves because we all really wanted more and more issues. I remember when I was 12 and I was waiting at the post office for the next issue. You know, we're all thumping our hands on the desk going, we want more stamps. I want to put another issue into my album. Whereas I should have looked and went, what other stamps around the world that, you know, I haven't got, I need to chase up. But harder to access back then. So really the only place you could access stamps was from the post office. But anyway, hey guys, have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Like, yeah, it's just fun. Stamps are the best. Enjoy them. Catch you later.